Good evening, sir. All right, good evening, everybody. I see that I have almost a full class. Good evening. Can somebody respond so I know that you are hearing me?
Yes, sir. Good evening.
Okay, all right. So, Luke, you're new. I don't remember calling this name in the last class.
Sir, I actually came in, I think close to the end, the last class.
Okay, okay. All right. So, how many, so other than Luke, who is new, who did not introduce himself, how many other persons are new?
Good evening, sir.
All right. So, I'm seeing, all right. So, I'm seeing Jerome. All right. So, let's go from
Kind of fairly new because the last class I came in late, so this would be my first class.
all right, so all new persons, can you just raise your hands, please? So I can just call it by name. Just raise your hand. So I'm seeing Rashidi. So all the other persons, right. So I'm seeing the hands being raised. All right, so let's go from the top. So I am seeing Oran Walters. No, Oran is not the first person. Rashidi Hamilton. So tell us your name and your area of study and what is it that you'd want to accomplish in this course, or how this course can help you in your place of work or something of that sort. So just tell us something, just introduce yourself, and probably something that we don't know, that people generally don't know about you. All right, go ahead. I think Jerome is the first person. Jerome Roof, go ahead.
My apologies, sir. What exactly you said you wanted to know, sir?
Jesus, hallelujah. When we just set up, oh, Jerome, you know, listen to me.
No, sir. I was a bit distracted. My apologies.
Focus for me, sir. Focus, you're in class.
But of course.
I'm old. I can't keep repeating myself. I'm just playing. All right, so you're going to tell us your name, tell us what is your area of study, and also probably what you think the course is about and how the course can help you in your professional life, and probably something that people don't know about you that they should know. Go ahead.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Jerome Roof. I am a year 2 SPIM student. What I think this class is about is it can help us where public speaking is concerned, hence the name oral communication. We have done communication 1 and 2, a lot of writing, so I guess this is going to be more speaking and expressing self. Something about me that so we could skip that part, the bomb where people don't know. We could skip that part.
All right, thank you very much. And you can also say your profession, all right, if you choose to highlight that. All right, so this is Samoy. Go ahead, Samoy.
Hi, good night.
Good evening. Night starts at 8.
Good evening. Sorry. My name is Samuel Shea. I am currently doing business administration. As the young man that spoke just now said.
No. You can't quote the young man. You're speaking for yourself.
Oral communication, I think, would mostly be about speaking, help to build how you communicate, yes.
Okay, how you communicate or how I communicate? I don't understand. You as in me, the teacher, or who's the you in your sentence? Who are you identifying as you?
Myself.
So you need to say I, which means first person, because you is second person.
So I was actually speaking generally, but how I communicate. Yes.
Right, so you can't speak generally, you have to speak. This is why I asked you to introduce yourself. All right, so you're not speaking on behalf of any other group. You're not speaking on behalf of a group or any other individual. You're speaking for yourself. Okay. All right. Thanks, Samoy. Lorian Harper, go ahead.
All right. Good evening, sir. Good evening, everyone. All right. So I'm Lorian Harper. I'm a second-year student in the Sobel's sub student studying business administration. All right, so I think this course is about, as it suggests, oral, means you will be talking, you'll be expressing and communicating. For me, what I'd like to accomplish from this course is to be a better public speaker and a better oral speaker overall, and just to express myself more or even better. Yeah, that's it. Hoping to have fun as well.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
All right.
Well,
Thank you.
about myself, no, I'm just really tired. So that's just about it.
So is it that you're always tired? That's what we should know about you, that you're always tired?
I am always tired.
Okay. All right, Lorianne. All right. Go ahead, Natalia.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Natalia Watson. I'm a year 2 STEM student. My expectation for this course is proper pronunciation and delivery.
So proper pronunciation. N-U-N?
Pronunciation.
Yes.
And delivery, whether it be speech or whatever. In my career, it would be very useful because I am a member of the security forces. So we basically deal with the public. So it will assist somewhat.
Thank you very much, Watson.
Okay.
All right. Oran Walters, go ahead for me.
Yes, sir. Good evening, everyone. My name is Oran Walters. I am a year 2 student doing the supply chain management course. I am a procurement officer. So what I expect from this course is to help me to deliver orally, well, more clearly than or speak confidently in a public setting. Something about me that nobody knows so far is that I do digital animation as fun.
Okay. Are you good at it?
Somewhat.
I'm serious. We're actually trying to find somebody to do some. I'm actually trying to find somebody to do some work for Excel. So we probably need to talk off the air. I'd need to see your portfolio first.
Sure.
Yes.
Yes.
All right. Yes. All right. So inbox me, send me a direct message, and I send you my number, and we talk via WhatsApp. All right.
Okay, sir.
Yeah. All right. Thanks, Mr. Walters. Anybody else new? All right. I'm not seeing any other hand. I don't remember seeing one Sue though. Did I? I don't remember calling that name in the last class. Saritia, if that's how you pronounce your name. I don't remember calling that name in the last class. I'm not seeing her. Called her name. I don't know if that was. I scared her off. She dropped off. I don't remember calling that name in the last. Where is everybody? So I'm seeing Lorian. All right. So the other thing that I want to, and I'm going to go through my checklist of things. I'm not sure if we did it in the last class, is let me just introduce myself for the persons who don't know me. So my name is Robin Clark, and I have been working at Excelsior since 2011. I am a trained public speaker. I've been on the radio. I was a part of a radio program called Love and Sex with Dr. Karen Carpenter on Nationwide. So I have that radio experience. I have been trained in public speaking, still being trained as well. So I consider myself a student of public speaking. I am also the Dean of Marketing and Communications at the college. So many of the correspondence that you get as students are coming from my desk or from my office, the office that I supervise. Outside of that, I am a trained marketer as well, especially in terms of social media marketing. And I do a lot of marketing consultancy. KLAS, I've done some work for KLAS, Trenchtown College, Polytechnic College. I've done some work for Palisades Corporate Credit Union. I've done some work for, I think that's about it. And I'm in talks with a particular high school to do some work for them. So I do a lot of marketing consultancy outside of that. I have a master's in cultural studies, and I've actually published a book. Well, I've published a book chapter. Let me blow my own trumpet by showing you some of my, well, I don't know if I'll find it, but I've done some amount of writing. So this is why oftentimes when people say, when I say to persons, they say, oh, you're a teacher. And I say, no, I'm not a teacher. I'm a lecturer. And I am indeed a lecturer because of the kinds of work that I've done. Let me see if I can find anything relating to what I've done. Dancehall, rise of dancehall and fashion. So I've done writing. My first degree is in international relations and literature in English. I mentioned my master's already, and then I did my teacher training in English language education. I also have a diploma. Well, I went to Canada, studied in Canada in 2019, did marketing research and analytics, the postgraduate diploma. And I also did a diploma in teaching English as a second language. And I have various certifications in professional certifications in public relations and social media marketing or digital marketing. If you go, well, the easiest way to find some of my work is on academia.edu, because I can't find, I don't even remember the name of the books that where my chapter is available, but you can find me here. So this is my profile, academia.edu. I don't know if anybody knows about it. I know I've introduced it to some of my students if I've taught to come one, especially. So these are some of my chapters. So one on Vibes Cartel, because my area is culture, and culture and creative industries, which should be published. This is published already, the one on Tamil, looking at cultural hybridity. And I have some other things, but I won't get into that. So those are some of the things that I've done. Working for Excelsior and working outside of Excelsior. I actually still work in Canada. I actually live in Canada, but I'm in Jamaica now, but I soon go back home. Yeah, so that's just a general introduction of who I am. I think we have done some of that. All right, so what are your expectations of the lecturer? I'm not sure if we spoke about that. Expectations of the lecturer. What are some of your expectations of the lecturer?
Sir.
Yes.
One of my expectations is that to be understanding, not everyone is not on the same level as it relates to grasping what was taught. So, sir, as much as whereas some additional attention can be given where whether it's being be projects or in the class. So just have some patience with us, sir.
Okay, all right. So as I mentioned that the consultation time is Mondays at 9. So if it is that I've given you work and you're struggling, you come to consultation. So we can do it Monday. We can start it at 8:30, like use the last half hour of the class to do some amount of consultation. And consultation means where you get individual attention. So, or group attention. So let us say that as a group, you're having a challenge and you're not so sure about something. We can meet and talk. Or if it is an individual concern relating to the course of, it must be relating to the course, we can also have that conversation. Of course, if you have, I don't know that people share personal matters. I've had students who come to me with personal matters and I've discussed, depending on the student, I'll extend the courtesy of having the conversation, but I prefer if we talk about course related or college related matters, All right, so if it is that you're having any serious challenge, Luke and others, we can come to consultation, and that's where you will get the attention, the kind of individual attention that might make a difference in terms of you grasping the information. All right?
Yes, sir. Thank you.
Yes. Any other expectations? So remember, no, Mondays, 8:30. 8:30 to 90 consultation. All right? Any other expectation of the lecturer? Expectations of the lecturer? And I still see Lorian and Oran hands up, so I'm not sure if they are raising their hands to make a point, or if that is from the previous segment. Yes. No expectations. Just be patient. So should I just be patient and that's it? And then all the other expectations I should just ignore, or?
Sir, because we know how you teach already, sir. So we know what to expect. We know how to work with you, and we know also what you expect of us. So
Well, for the persons who have taught, come one and come two, but there are many students who have not taught, like Lorian, Miss Wang Su, are you new to the class? I don't remember calling that name in the last class. Sarita, I don't know if Sarita. Are you new to the class?
I was at the last class, but I was late for the last class. So this
Okay.
is the second class.
All right. So did you introduce yourself in the last class, or?
Yes, I did.
Okay. All right. All right. Any other expectation? Well, so I was making the point that I have taught some persons, but many other persons I have not taught who are here. And I'd love to just hear some of the expectations, because I have my own expectations. I have my own expectations. So it would be good to hear what are some of your expectations. Georgette Richards, go ahead. I see your hand is up. Georgette, making a point. I'm seeing your hand up, and Lorian Harper as well. All right, I don't think she's making.
Yes, sir.
Okay, go ahead.
Sir, that it was successful. So the only expectation I'm having is to just retrieve more.
Okay. All right, thanks for that, Georgette. All right. So expectations of the students. So let me go from my end. So I expect one, for persons to come to class on time and for you to participate. Participation is very key, especially in a public speaking class. All right. One of the things I learned at public speaking school is every opportunity you get to speak publicly, you jump at it. And that is how you become a better speaker. And speaking publicly does not only mean pronouncing all your words correctly, as I showed in the last class, but also how to actually tell a story using your voice and using the purpose, the context, and the audience to kind of shape what you say and how you say it, and the kinds of devices or literary devices, figures of speech that are used to really deliver in a particular way. All right. So those are some of my expectations, that persons are going to come to class on time and participate. It's very, very important. Did we look at the notion of netiquette? Did we look at netiquette? Hello? No. Anybody knows about netiquette?
Yes,
sir.
Can you just remind us what it is about, just to ensure that we're on the same page? What's netiquette again? Remind me.
Sir, a set of principles that guides your behavior while you're online.
Right. So, yes. Have we all been introduced to etiquette, or is it that some persons have been and others have not been? All right, so let's listen. And I want for you to tell me what are some of the do's and don'ts of learning in an online environment, okay? So in order to I'm not going to make any assumption. I know the persons who I have taught have seen this before, but I'm not sure about the other persons.
Returning to work.
Did you hear that?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay, all right. So it means
As a project manager, ClickUp has really helped with mapping out time.
How you present yourself online is how your instructors and classmates will perceive you throughout your online coursework. That's why it's important to understand basic guidelines for internet etiquette, also known as Netiquette. These are some tips to make a good first impression. Address your instructor by his or her proper title, unless instructed otherwise. For example, an instructor who has earned their PhD should be addressed as Doctor. When in doubt, use Professor, Mr., or Miss. Be clear by adding a short and descriptive subject line to your email and discussion posts. When writing emails, provide the course number to the subject line so that your instructor knows which class you are referring to. Be concise when writing emails, but don't treat them like text messages. Use professional language. Avoid the use of slang and abbreviations such as LOL and TTYL. Similarly, use emoticons sparingly. While they can sometimes help portray emotions, they're not usually welcome in the professional environment. If you are asking for something, such as clarification about an assignment, be sure to say please and thank you within your message. Finally, proofread your messages by checking for any grammar or spelling mistakes before sending or posting. You want to make sure that your audience can easily read and understand your email. Therefore, avoid using unusual and colored fonts. Consider using a sans serif font, such as Arial or Helvetica. Use a font size that people won't have difficulty reading, such as 12 or 14 point. Be sure to reference your course syllabus for guidelines regarding font style and size for other assignments. Although you may think it's stylish, avoid using wallpapers and colored backgrounds. These may make messages difficult to read. Conclude your email with a respectful sign-off, such as best regards, sincerely, or simply thank you. Finally, consider adding a signature to your emails. Include your name, major, and return email address. Do not use profanity in an email or discussion post. It is inappropriate and could offend your audience. If you find yourself writing an email while upset or angry, save it and come back to it once you have had the opportunity to calm down and respond in a positive manner. Review it and eliminate any negative language before sending. Finally, avoid using all capital letters. On the internet, all caps often indicates yelling or anger. Always be respectful of your instructor and fellow students. Do not write hurtful comments about a fellow student's work, comments, or ideas. Keep an open mind. You will be taking classes with students who come from different backgrounds than your own. Be willing to learn about others' social and cultural norms and share your own. Choose your words carefully. Sarcasm and jokes can be taken the wrong way without cues from the teller's tone of voice and body language. Think critically before sending an email to everyone in your class or replying to everyone. Ask yourself if everyone really needs to see the message. If forwarding an email, out of respect for the original sender, make sure you have permission to pass on the message. Finally, do not send spam or chain letters to your fellow classmates. Instead, maintain professional communication boundaries. Be smart with what you share online. Avoid sharing too much about your personal life with fellow students and instructors. Be professional and courteous without being soul-bearing. If you are experiencing a personal struggle that may impact your coursework, you may wish to reach out to your instructor privately. Think twice before disclosing company information. Most workplaces legally require you to keep company information confidential. Remember, information on the internet is public. Once information is online, you cannot remove it. Also, don't forget that even what you write anonymously can be traced back to you. If you remember one thing, let it be this. Do not do or say online what you would not do or say offline. Please visit our website for more information about SD State Online and to view more student success videos.
All right, so talk to me about some of the do's and don'ts, and the persons who have
quality writing makes your schoolwork better.
Allow the other persons to speak. All right, so what are some of the do's and don'ts of learning in a virtual environment based on the recording?
Sir, do not, so one of the, so do not send email in all caps. It's basically saying that you're hungry or you're shouting.
Right, so it could be that interpreted as if you're shouting or that you're angry at the person. Yes. Anybody else? Anything else?
All right, so it said do not use profanity when sending an email. And when you're forwarding an email, you should get the go-ahead from the original writer.
Right, so you need to ensure that you have the authority or the permission to send. And this is why many emails have a disclaimer, so that they say that if you're not the intended person, do not open the email, blah, 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 because it's actually illegal to forward an email that you don't have permission to do. And it's illegal to forward an email to somebody, especially if the person is outside of the company. All right, so even in our class, if we are having a discussion or something is said, something is sent to you as from me as your students, it's not ethical. So it's not that it's illegal, it's not ethical for you to share it with students who are also doing a similar course without my permission. All right, so it's not that it is illegal, it is that it is unethical. And I'm sure as working professionals, you understand the implications of someone, saying that you are unethical in terms of what you are doing. All right, anything else from the recording?
Sir, when utilizing the email platform, keep the conversation professional and do not utilize abbreviations.
Right, so it's not just the email, but even in the classroom, even where we are talking, no. We are at all times, we're supposed to be professional because we're in a professional environment. This is a class and you're college students. So it's not a friend thing where you have what you will say on the corner. You're going to come in the class and say, all right, so you want to ensure that you are very professional in terms of how you speak to me, how I have to be very professional in terms of how I talk to you. And you have to keep it professional between and among yourselves. That's very, very critical. You can disagree and disagree respectfully. You can criticize and criticize respectfully and politely. All right, and also too that when you log in, and this was not there, but when you log into the class, I'm supposed to be seeing your full name, not sexy baby at Yahoo or something like that. I've seen students log in and you're not sure who they are. We actually have permission and the right to take you out of the class if we don't know who you are. If you are, we don't know if you're some sort of spy or whatever. All right, anything else from the recording in terms of operating in a professional environment, operating in a virtual environment? Yes?
Sorry, you must always use a proper title when addressing a person.
Right, so you use the proper title when addressing especially your lecturers. And for students with your first name, last name, you will notice that I most times address it by your last name. It's deliberate, all right, because I want you to see yourselves as professionals and I want for you to treat the space as professional. Even when I was teaching in the high school system, I used to call my students by their last name. I would say Miss or Mr. And some students found it very strange. And I'll address, I used to teach at an all boys school and I will always say to them that you are gentlemen. I don't say youth and gangster and Madonna. I don't use those language with them. All right, because you want to elevate the way they see themselves and the way they actually talk to you as an educator. All right.
Question,
yes.
sir. All
Yes,
right.
sir.
So about the title, right? It said if the lecturer has a PhD, we should address him as doctor.
Right.
Or if we're not clear, sir, Mr. or Miss.
Yes.
So is it okay to use sir because that's the norm in Jamaica to address our
Yes,
teachers.
man. Sir is okay.
Sir.
Sir is perfect. Sir is
Okay.
perfect. If you want to say Mr. Clark or sir, that's good. That's really good. Some lecturers, like I know one colleague of mine, she prefers to be addressed by her first name. She just wants to be called Bridget. She doesn't want you to call her any other thing other than Bridget. I know in Canada, it's always a first name. Even with our lecturers, we call them by their first names. Well, at least where I studied. Some lecturers, of course, they get, they wanted to call them professor or doctor, or I don't have a PhD, so you don't need to address me as doctor. I started one and stopped. All right. So usually the lecturer will indicate how he or she wishes to be addressed. And if he or she has not done so, just say sir or miss for the time being until told otherwise. All right. And I know sometimes when students are married, they want you to say Mrs. I don't get into that kind of discussion. All right. I know I've taught students before who get obsessed with the fact that they're married and you must address them by their married title. I don't really get into that kind of discussion. And if I see you're hell-bent on that, then I'm just going to call you by your first name because, I know some persons, they have this big thing about that, but usually I'll address you by your last name. You'll find that more with me than with other lecturers that I call you by your last name, not your first name. It's just a deliberate thing that I do. I'm still seeing Lacey and P, and I don't know who's that. Lacey and P, you need to write your full name because I don't know who that is. And 2, your hand is up, so go ahead if you want to speak.
Yes. Well, the P is for parks though, and I'm new.
Okay.
But there's one that I made note of, and it's actually quoted as a golden rule. It says, "Do not do or say online what you would not do or say offline." And I guess the wisdom behind that is because once it's on the internet, it cannot be deleted or removed. So we should be careful what we say or do online.
Right, and thanks for bringing that up. And it's very true that unless you're friends with people, because of course, if you're friends, then it's a different matter when you're talking to, especially males, sometimes the conversations we have with our brethren is very different from the conversations women might have, or the conversations we'll have in front of a woman or in front of women. I have one of my classmates from high schools, we have conversations through insults because he lives in England. And that's just how we have our conversation. And none of us, we know what it means. If him say dead dog or whatever, we know exactly what it means in terms of, so I'm saying in terms of that. What I also wish for us to respect too is do not record the lecturer without his or her permission. That's something that students do all the time, even in a virtual environment. The recording is there and you might say something and you don't want it to be recorded or whatever, and they're recording you. All right. And if you turn on the camera, they want to record or something like that. So I'm just saying that we all have to be sensitive and respectful of one another. All right. That's very, very important that we respect each other's space and time. All right. Anything else that jumps out at you? Okay. All right. So yes, go ahead.
When closing an email using kind regards or thanks.
Right. So you close your email, depending on the nature of the email, it can be kind regards, it can be thank you or whatever. That's important. And even identifying yourself, what I call a kind of an email signature. So Robin Clark, lecturer, Excelsior Community College. You have this email signature. You keep it very professional. All right. So even if you're sending an email, you keep it professional. And I know some students will say, "Sir, I kill up myself over that." But my thing is that once this becomes a part of you, it will follow you through, and people will take notice, even in the workplace, that you're constantly professional, and that might open doors for you. And people will say, I'm sure you've heard the saying that man has carried through the world, and people say, "No, got some man is not carried through no goddamn world." But that's actually not true. I have come across many persons, and it's because of respect why I refer the students for work. So there are about 3 of my former students now are working at Excelsior. They started working in the call center. And it's because I taught them and I knew their worth, and I knew also that they were very professional, they were very polite. And when an opportunity presented itself, I reached out to the class, they reached out,
And I said, okay, here's an opportunity. And they're still working now because of how they conducted themselves during the class. Of course, they were day students, but the point is that respect people sometimes, or most times, we respect people who are very professional, or very polite, or very courteous. All right, so we try to exercise that. And I'm not saying that we're not going to run joke every, 1 and 2 times we might run a joke. I love to run jokes sometimes because I think humor, especially in public speaking, helps to break the ice, for example. But it's just that we have to be very mindful of the context and the sensitivity of the matter, especially if you live in a multicultural setting, especially where you live in a space where people have different beliefs relating to religion, relating to abortion, relating to politics, relating even to sexuality. There are so many, when you live in a country like Canada, you have to be so careful in terms of your utterance because you work at a place where there are one person is from Pakistan, another person is from Iraq, 2 persons are from India, another person is from Iran, 2 persons are from a country in Africa. So you have various persons working in the same space, and you have to be so mindful of their presence. So it's that kind of consciousness I want from you. I remember my coworker in Canada, and she's a Muslim, and I forgot, well, I didn't know that Muslims don't hug. At least the female ones who are married, and I reached out to her girl, and she kind of cringed and was like, what the hell am I doing wrong? And my other friend who's Indian looked at me and started laughing, and I said, oh, you're not supposed to do that. That's a no-no. All right, so you don't hug married women. And I said, okay, no, I know. All right, so that's the level of consciousness that I want we to have in the class when talking or interacting with one another. All right, do you think we need a WhatsApp group?
Yes, sir, that can help us to pass around notes and information just in case somebody miss a class or something, can communicate there.
All right. Who is very techno savvy and can create a WhatsApp group?
Sir, I can.
All right, go ahead. Oh yes, Georgette is very good at this. Go ahead, Georgette. So create the link, you create the group and then you share the link in the WhatsApp, in the chat, and then we all join.
Yes, sir.
All right. So I'll give you 5 minutes or so to create the link and share, and then other persons will join. When she creates the link and share in the chat, people, there are 2 ways of how you can join, right? It's going to ask you to either download if you're using a laptop, it's going to ask you to either download the WhatsApp app, or if it's a laptop that you're using, you just need to click on WhatsApp web. It actually gives you that option, and all you need to do is to click on WhatsApp web and you will join. All right. October 6th. Night, Renee. Natalia, did you get your grade for Com2? Did you get your grade?
Wasn't in your class, sir.
You were not in my, which course are you talking about, Renee? Remind me. Is a course that I taught you?
Course.
Which course again? Com2?
Com2.
The other persons who I taught Com2, did you get your grade?
No, sir.
You haven't received your grade either, Camelia?
No, sir.
Sir, I think you did upload it on Moodle, but on Aaron you're not seeing it.
No, man, I need to reach out to exams. Hold on. Let me send a email while Renee, not Renee, Georgette is, yes, is working on the, this is for come to.
Sir.
Yes.
I have some issues as well with registration. So some of the courses are not on Arian, like your course. So I went by school today and they said that the category was empty. So the person from IT told me that everything would be there within the hour. But when I get home this evening and I tried it again, it was the same thing. So, sure. So I don't know if you can reach out to somebody and let them
Can you
know.
send me an email at info? Let me put it in the chat. Info.
Okay, sir.
And let me put it in the chat. No, man, I have to go bring these matters to Dr. Malcolm's attention. This is ridiculous. Let me copy exams because I'm not sure what's happening. Riley, doing Riley, Leela Farkinson. I don't know what that woman the name. Semester 2.
Sir, I know other courses too, sir, but you can just talk about your course because we're getting summer grades and we haven't gotten all the courses for semesters too. So I don't understand why.
That is true as well, sir. Still waiting on grades from second semester.
Yes, I'm constructing a very spirited email. Hold on, let me see if I can call the vice principal right now. Because she called me hours a night, so I can't call her. Give me a sec. I'm going to mute my mic.
Sorry, sir, I got bumped off by the internet. I sent the link in the chat.
Georgette, you will have to resend it because they're not seeing.
I resent, so check if you're seeing it.
Okay, yeah.
All right. So Georgette, you share the WhatsApp. So let me just join and then I'll go back to, let me open my phone because I have to open the phone in order to join. So join the chat. You know, I actually have a course called or come already on my phone. All right, so let's join the chat. Use WhatsApp web. Join. So I'm just going to say good day. Make me an admin as well, please. All right, so please remember you're not getting my number now to harass me, all right? To send me to call. First of all, no phone calls. We don't do phone calls. We do only text messages, not even voice note. All right, and that number now is not supposed to be used for everything relating to the college. It's only for the course related matters. All right. So I know communication too. What are the other courses that you have outstanding grades for?
Marketing.
Marketing.
All right. The issue with so marketing is one. What happened? What the vice principal of academic affairs is saying to me that there were some irregularities with that course. In other words, some students cheated. And I think it's being investigated, and that's the reason why the grades have not been released for that specific course. And I think so it is marketing and accounting she mentioned. But I'm a little bit surprised in terms of communication too, because you guys know you couldn't have cheated with me. You know, Mr. Clark is different, so that would not have happened with me. So I've sent an email and just send me a WhatsApp tomorrow in the group. Say, sir, just remember to check for us on our communication tool grade, because it is really unacceptable that at this stage you have not received your grades. All right, have we all joined the WhatsApp group for the persons who want to be a part of the WhatsApp group? I take that as a yes. So now we need to discuss or look at the protocols of being a part of a WhatsApp group. All right, so it's not just joining the WhatsApp group, but actually understanding. All right.
Have you seen that I made you an admin?
It will be reflected. I use my phone for light as well, so if you have made me admin, it will show. All right, so I'm going to.
Part of has established.
All right, so we're going to now listen to the protocol
of being a part of a WhatsApp group. All right, and then now I want, in other words, I want for you then to talk to me about what are some of the protocols of being a part of a WhatsApp group. Let's listen.
Something that I've always found very ironic is that no WhatsApp group, or at least the ones that I am part of, has established rules of behavior or conduct, something that would be very useful in preventing the saturation of digital trash, memes, and senseless or useless debates that only cause negative reactions and sometimes even hurt people's feelings. For this reason and many more, I have decided to do this video and establish a series of points for anyone to use and promote as a code of conduct in their groups. 1. Respect the purpose and objective of each group. A WhatsApp work group shouldn't be used to send messages or content of a personal nature, as well as groups of friends and family shouldn't be used for business purposes. That's what direct messages are for. 2. Don't use groups just to send memes, videos, pictures, and news without reading and reacting to the content shared by others. The purpose of a WhatsApp group is to establish collective conversations with others. But when you only place content but never read or interact, the existence of such groups loses their purpose. No one likes monologues. 3. Never send content, information, or news that hasn't been verified. Placing content whose authenticity has not been definitely proven can be very dangerous and harm many people. WhatsApp is infested with lies, and it's better to put a stop to them than to be guilty of spreading them. 4. If you feel uncomfortable in a group for any reason, feel free to leave or mute the notifications. It's better to be criticized for leaving than for always complaining. 5. Give your complaint to the group administrator. Before sending a complaint to a group, identify the administrator and share your thoughts with him or her. 6. Don't get angry if someone doesn't respond to your messages in a group. No one is obligated to do so. Better send him or her a direct message. 7. Think before you send. Before sending a video, picture, meme, or any content, analyze if such material will be in the interest of the majority of the members of the group. 8. Avoid forwarding to all your groups. When forwarding a message, picture, or video and you're choosing multiple recipients, avoid sending it to all your groups, since hardly the same content will be suitable or of interest to all. 9. Avoid religion and politics. Unless it's a thematic group on politics or religion, avoid placing such content, since hardly all will have the same religious beliefs or political preferences. Avoid unnecessary debates. 10. Unless tolerated by all, avoid sending any content that is violent or pornographic. It's common for only men groups or only women groups to circulate inappropriate content, but it is important to always keep in mind that many people may feel uncomfortable, especially when the content affects someone's reputation. 11. Avoid conversations with only one person. When noticing that you're having a dialogue with a single member of the group, consider changing the conversation to a direct message, because the rest of the group may not be interested in reading your conversations with another person. 12. Use the reply function. When replying to a specific comment from a person, use the reply function to make sense of your comment and avoid confusion. 13. Write clear and simple. Keep in mind that your words can be interpreted in multiple ways, so use short sentences that can't be misinterpreted. 14. Don't abuse emojis. There are some that don't require explanation, but others can be interpreted in different ways and generate confusion. And 15. Avoid sending large videos or files. Nobody likes to saturate the memory of their smartphone or waste their data internet plan on nonsense. When we manage to get everyone to understand and practice these points, the dynamics of all group chats will change for good and we'll all be benefited.
Introducing Speechalo, the most natural sounding text-to-speech software on the market.
All right.
Hey, I'm Joe.
Yes.
The last one, number 15, is one of the ones I hate, especially those long voice notes that people send.
What
Yes,
about the
long
long?
voice notes are turn off.
Amen.
Long voice note, like some 2-3 minutes voice note. Oh jeez. You can split it, man. Do it 30-second intervals and you know.
All right, so no long voice notes.
No long voice notes.
All right. This is a soundbite generation. People just want sound bites, no long voice notes. All right, and Renee says get to the point. In other words, the voice note must get to the point, not give out this long epistle. Anything else?
So the emojis, it can be really, really disrespectful for real. Especially in a context where, take for example, someone doesn't understand something and asks a question and you would send a laughing face emoji, or the one that the shake my head one.
Right. Because they don't know how to interpret it. Is the person making fun of you, poking fun, and all of that? That is very, very true. So true. All right. Anything else?
Advertising, sir, cake sale, and all those things.
No, not in this group. I will remove you. Anybody does that, I am going to remove you. No cake sale, none of those things. Anything posted in the group must be related either to the course or to the college. So if you even have a different exam and you say, okay, guys, remember we have math exam on Monday at 10, no problem, because that is related to the college. But no cake sale and a big dance and dash out and none of that in the WhatsApp group. I will remove you.
I remember we had this group. I think we were doing outreach, the outreach group, and that was out of hand because people basically cuss out each other in that group there. I remember the lecturer had to came in and mute the group and take control of the group because it was completely out of hand.
Oh, Lord, and especially when you're adults, you're supposed to be more professional than because I would never go into a WhatsApp group with teenagers, with high school students. I wouldn't, because you know they're going to be cheeky and all of that. So I was in a WhatsApp group once. It was in semester 2 actually, with some day students, and I posted something that was course related, and the girl used a profanity. I said nothing. I just came out of the group. And then I said, sir, no, sir, come in back the group. And she apologized till Jesus come. And I still did go back into the group because I said, one, we are not friends. And two, you are aware of the fact that I'm in the group. So it therefore means that you don't respect me or my office. The mere fact that I'm a lecturer, you don't respect me as an individual, as a professional, as your lecturer. I did not go back into the group, and I just mute her, just put her on mute. And that's why I did that course with her, because very out of order. I considered it very, very rude. Another instance, I didn't come out of the group, but this was supposed to be an adult she was doing mid-semester and had some issue with registration or something, and asked me directly in the group. So I said to her, you need to speak to your head of school. And somebody assisted her, and the comment was, oh, thank you very much, unlike the lecturer. And I just waited for the class, and then I just dress her down nice and neat. Because one, all matters relating to registration, you're supposed to sort it out. You can't wait until the day of exam. You're trying to sort these things out. You're supposed to do them before. I just dress her down nice and neat. And if she had ever responded, I'd just come out of the group and say, all right, guys, you guys enjoy yourself, because clearly I am not being shown respect. So when you can enjoy yourself in the group. Another thing that I noticed that is not there, another thing that I want to make note of that is not there. I don't need to be told good morning. And I think everybody else should not be expecting any good morning or any motivational or inspirational quotes. Keep it to yourself. If you want to be inspired or motivated, just send yourself it, or put it on a wall, put it on your wall or your DP, and you will always be motivated and you'll always be inspired, but not in the group. All right, highly, highly unnecessary. I don't know if you guys agree with me, but I find it quite annoying, especially these chain inspirational and motivational things. What you guys think about that? I'm not sure if you agree with me.
Sure, sir. Agree. And some of these messages, like they want to play in their conscience, but if you love God forward 10 times, all kind of stuff.
Yes, exactly. You know, those things I really just find quite annoying. Really, really find them annoying. I accept them from my grandaunts because they have nothing else to do because they're retired. So they send all kind of madness to your phone. And you don't complain, and you just smile and nod because these are your family members. But in a setting like this, we really should be doing that. And Dervet Williams said something that is very key. She says 2 people having a conversation in a group with multiple people. So if it is, for example, that Dervet wants to speak to Renee, they don't need to have the conversation in the group. They can have the conversation directly because everybody is on WhatsApp. All right, and that's so. Thanks for that reminder, Dervet, that you don't need to. 2 persons don't need to be having a conversation in the group. If you want to have a conversation with somebody specific in the group, fine. If you're going to ask me a question, please ask it in the group. I don't want you to send me a direct message. I want you to ask the group. The reason for that, it could be that other people are thinking of the same question, and I don't want to be answering several people at different points. So it's best to ask it in the group, and then I'll respond. If there is a particular matter that, that is personal and you want to reach out to me, no problem. All right. You want to speak to me directly and you don't want everybody to hear the conversation. I have no problem with that. That's a different situation. Let's just say that you have an issue with like tuition, or you don't want people to know that kind of stuff, that you owe the school money and the school are running you down and they will block you from doing exam or whatever. That's a different issue. All right. But once it's more course related, no, I prefer if you have it in the group. Junior, it says there are times when they're grumbling in the group. Well, I don't know how they grumble in the group, but I can understand the sentiment where people are making certain cheeky comments, making, sarcasm, kind of putting some kind of level of sarcasm in their messages and stuff like that. And we try to avoid those kinds of things because, as we said before, Netiquette, we are supposed to be very professional in the way we address each other, and it carries over into what are called instant messaging platforms. All right. Did anybody get any other protocol related to, what did I do wrong? Any other thing out of the recording in relation to WhatsApp? And I will say, I will post things that are not course related, but are college related in the group. So for example, principals hour, I will post those things in the group, or even reminders about exams. Let us say that there's a job posting in the college, I'll put it in the group. Any little thing that is related to the college, I will put there because if I determine that is something that you should know about as students, that's so I'll put it in the group. Georgette says unnecessary questions. True. Sometimes people are asking questions that are highly unnecessary, and then persons are asking, sir, we did talk about it in the lecture. Oh yes. So let me go to that now. Those who have not subscribed, let me share my YouTube channel link, because that's how you're going to access the recordings. Let me just get there. So several persons have subscribed. So let me, all right, so share. So in the chat, please click on the link for me and subscribe to my channel. That is how you're going to get it. That is how you're going to access the recordings. All right, and I do my best in terms of uploading the recordings weekly. So I'm hopefully tomorrow, usually I get it in the night, and then like late in the night, and then early tomorrow, I'll upload the recording. All right, and you go there and it will be labeled like week 1, lecture 1, week 2. So this one is going to be week 2, lecture 1. So you're going to see oral communication, week 2, lecture 1. And it might say general introduction because we're still kind of doing the housekeeping matters. All right. So subscribe to my YouTube channel in order to gain access to the recordings. And this is my I use my professional email to create the YouTube channels. It's easier for you to access it on YouTube, because if I send you the actual video, it's going to, the space on your phone, it's going to fill up the space on your phone. And some of the phone, it doesn't have much space already, because you have all kinds of pictures there and videos of family and trips and all kinds of stuff. So it's easier to share a link. And there are times when I share the link to in the WhatsApp group, and all you need to do is just to click and watch the recording if you were not at class, or if you think you need to revise. All right, have we subscribed already?
So I'm trying, but it's saying that I should sign in.
Yeah, you have to sign into your YouTube. So if you don't have a YouTube channel, you can use your ECC email to create a YouTube channel, or if you want to use your personal email, but you have to sign in. That's how they do on YouTube.
So, sir, what's your name? Just your right name, Abington?
Yes. Let me know when you have subscribed, or if you want to type in the chat, subscribed.
Sir, I've subscribed.
Okay.
Subscribe, sir.
All right, that's 2 persons.
Sir,
Yes.
can you give the instruction again, please?
Are you seeing the link in the chat? Miss
Just a
Hamnot?
second. Yes,
Are you
sir.
seeing? Right. Can you click on the link for me and just subscribe? All right, so that's how you gain access to the lectures. All right, so I'm seeing a number of persons have subscribed. So as I said before, I will constantly upload the recordings there. All right, let me just see if I've missed out anything on my list. I think we talked about that. There is no real textbook for the course. There is no real textbook per se. There's no really textbook for the course. There are pieces of material that we'll be using from time to time. So let's look now. And the reason you haven't gained access to the course outline is because I'm waiting for them to release the course on Canvas, and they haven't. But I do have a copy of the course outline. At least I think it's as recent. It's relatively recent. So let me share that with you as well. I'm seeing COM1. Oh yes, here it is. Oral communication. Coursework. No, that is not what I want. COM2. Oh, week 1 lecture 1 is there. Did I label it correctly? What did I call it? All right, so oral communication. All right. So we're going to look at course description and course outcomes, and then you're going to tell me, based on that, what are some of your expectations? So here it is. The description says the focus of this course is to help students improve speech habits and develop strategies for effective oral communication. Outcomes include apply effective listening to a variety of oral presentations, demonstrate command of presentation skills in a variety of oral presentations, generate a speech appropriate to a given situation, integrate nonverbal components in a variety of oral presentations, and respond critically to your and others' oral presentations. All right, so take a minute to digest the description as well as the outcomes, and let us start now. What are some of the expectations? There are no notes. I don't know what you're talking about notes. All the notes will be provided on Canvas when the course has been released. There are no notes. This is not a notes class. This is a public speaking class. You're going to do more talking than anything else. You're going to listen and write. If you want notes, you listen and write. Simple. No notes. You take a lot of notes, so come one and come two. This is not a notes course. This is a public speaking course. We will get to the homework, Junior. I haven't forgotten it. All right, talk to me what you think. So let me give you another. So at 8:20, we can start talking. So I'm giving you another 3 minutes to kind of, what are some of the expectations or what are some of the things, some of the skills or competencies you would want to have gained at the end of the course based on the description and outcomes? All right, go ahead. Are you guys hearing me?
Yes, sir, hearing.
Yes, so talk to me.
Okay, sir. So as the first one said, apply effective listening to variety of oral presentation.
Mm-hmm.
that is something I would need to develop because I don't think I am nowhere near um, mastering this, sir. Right? I can be distracted easily. I think that is something, the outcome of this is something that I should work on and develop strength there.
All right. So listening, effective listening, and notice it does not just say listening, effective listening to a variety of oral presentations. And notice it didn't say effective hearing, it said listening. So there's a difference. It is saying that this is more deliberate. This is more a deliberate act on the path of an individual. All right. Anybody else?
Sir, for me, it's number 4. It's to integrate nonverbal components in a variety of oral presentations. I usually do a lot of speaking, especially at church and at school. However, sometimes I can be thrown off by the nonverbal cues. So I really need to strengthen on that part.
What I think I'm going to do in this course, and it's not a part of the course syllabus, but to invite I'm a supervisor, the marketing officer. He's very good with PowerPoint presentations, like how to create PowerPoint presentations. And so bring him in for him to show you how to create a PowerPoint presentation and presenting from that PowerPoint presentation, because that helps to enhance your public presentation or your oral presentation. So that is something that we will do. All right, guys? So it will be an added lesson. Did I teach you this already? Didn't I?
Yes, sir.
Right. So
yes, sir.
yes, but I still need to teach the others because I didn't teach them before. Right. So I'll invite Mr. Panton, or probably find the recording and play it if he's not available, so that the other persons can use that as a way to complement, because that's what it is talking about, the whole non-verbal components, how you use these other things to enhance your presentation. All right.
Sounds good, sir.
Yes. Anything else based on the description and course outcomes or learning outcomes?
Sir, before you go on, the link for the presentation sites are still in the old communication.
Say that again.
So I was saying the links for the sites to get the PowerPoints and how to do them, they are still in the old communication tool group.
Oh, I probably need to find that group. Hold on. Can you forward them to the new group, to this group now?
Yes, sir. I can look for it and send it.
Yes. All right. So just share it with the others. And they'll just keep the links, don't delete them, and then we reach that stage, because I think this is something that you really should, this is a skill that you really should learn, you know, how to use PowerPoint presentation to enhance your oral presentation or your speech. All right. Anything else? Some persons have not spoken. Let me just go to the participants list, because some people
Sir,
talk about
I'll just add something. Not I don't know which one it applies to, but just to minimize or just to take out completely the use of fillers like or you know, something like that whenever it is that you're doing, when I am doing a presentation.
Right. So how to avoid fillers. Sometimes they are necessary, but they are not always necessary. All right. That's very, very important. Oh, did I not see this? Oh, that's how they presented this. All right. That's very, very important. Why is this put unavailable? All right. Anything else? For example, with number 5 that says respond critically to your or others' oral presentations. Are you able to do that? Respond critically?
Sir, no, sir.
All right.
Basically, what this is saying is to critique. Okay, so while someone is giving their presentation, basically to do your critique and inform the presenter at the end what he or she has
well, not inform, but ask probing questions. So somebody does a presentation, they are talking, and you are now able to ask probing questions, because sometimes it sounds very wonderful and fluffy, but when you get to the core of what was said, you realize that there are some serious issues. There's a example. In a course I taught international business. Let me see if I can find that recording. The person is, well, let me not preempt. Let me see if I can find the presentation and we'll look at it. And let us see if we can listen critically to what is being said. Oh, but I gave it to that group. I taught them oral communication. Yeah, so I have to choose. Right, here's the video. It's actually there. So I want for you to listen and tell me no, I don't want that one. Where is the no, that's not it. What if I played it in the other class? So why am I not finding it? All right, so I think this one can work. So I want for you to listen very carefully and tell me what is being said. Do we agree, disagree? So you're listening to
VentureBox is your partner as
so you're listening to what is being said, why it is being said, and what are the quote unquote main points, and how does the speaker go about supporting the claims. All right. I'm kind of asking you to do a lot within a short space of time, but let me see how much you can gather from just listening to what is being said. All right. Let me see, because there's a difference between listening to what is being said and listening to the speaker. And I'll explain. Let's listen.
The United States lost over 3 million manufacturing jobs, nearly a quarter of all steel jobs, and 60,000 factories after China joined the WTO. And we have racked up $13 trillion in trade deficits over the last 2 decades. But those days are over. We will no longer tolerate such abuse. We will not allow our workers to be victimized, our companies to be cheated, and our wealth to be plundered and transferred. America will never apologize for protecting its citizens. The United States has just announced tariffs on another $200 billion in Chinese-made goods, for a total so far of $250 billion. I have great respect and affection for my friend, President Xi, but I have made clear our trade imbalance is just not acceptable. China's market distortions and the way they deal cannot be tolerated. As my administration has demonstrated, America will always act in our national interests.
Hi, everyone. George Stephanopoulos.
All right. talk to me. All right, let me share the link. I'm going to share the link because I think you need some time to digest it. And I want you to listen again before I ask you to respond. So remember now, you are listening to the message, not the speaker. I know it sounds a little bit confusing, but I know why I say that. All right, I'm going to play it again. Then I'm going to give you 10 minutes to listen. And then I want for you to tell me the main points that are raised in it and how the speaker goes about supporting those main points. What is the purpose of the speech and the occasion? All right, so the purpose, in other words, why is the speech being made? To whom is the speech being made, or to whom is it directed? So I'm asking you to do a number of things. So let's listen to the speech again together. And then let us answer these questions. And as I said, no, we're doing what is called critical listening, which is the first part. And then you're going to write your responses, which is going to be critical writing. And then when you're talking to me and we're having a conversation, that is called critical speaking. All right. So these are some of the, let me call them tentacles of oral communication. So it's not just talking nice, because sometimes you can talk nice, but there is no substance, there's no core. All right. And as I showed in the last class, it's also about how you organize the speech, but we're not focusing on organization. No, I just want to introduce you to the whole concept of critical listening. All right. So let's play it again, give you 10 minutes. And then I'll probably put you into breakout rooms, make it a little bit more so each group, more people participate. So let's listen again.
The United States lost over 3 million manufacturing jobs.
Let's start.
The United States lost over 3 million manufacturing jobs, nearly a quarter of all steel jobs, and 60,000 factories after China joined the WTO. And we have racked up $13 trillion in trade deficits over the last 2 decades. But those days are over. We will no longer tolerate such abuse. We will not allow our workers to be victimized, our companies to be cheated, and our wealth to be plundered and transferred. America will never apologize for protecting its citizens. The United States has just announced tariffs on another $200 billion in Chinese-made goods, for a total so far of $250 billion. I have great respect and affection for my friend, President Xi, but I have made clear our trade imbalance is just not acceptable. China's market distortions and the way they deal cannot be tolerated. As my administration has demonstrated, America will always act in our national interests.
Hi, everyone. George Stephanopoulos here.
All right. So in order to get more participation, I'm going to put you in breakout rooms and give you about 10 minutes. All right. All right, so go in the breakout room. So we have opened the breakout rooms. I'm giving you 10 minutes to answer my questions. All right. Everybody's understanding what I'm asking you to do. I hope so.
Sir, can you give about the questions?
So they were kind of random still, but let me see if I can remember what I said. So one, I want for you to identify the claims made by the speaker and how the speaker goes about supporting the claim or claims, right? In other words, claim plus evidence, because this is critical speaking. And if you're going to make an accusation, then you must provide evidence. I want for you to also identify the occasion and the audience or the recipients of the message. Who's receiving the message, or who's the message directed at? To whom is the American president, former American president, speaking, and why? What is the purpose of the speech? What does the writer hope to, what does the writer, not the writer, what does the speaker hope to accomplish with this speech? All right? Got those questions? I hope you were writing, because I can't repeat. All right. So I've opened the breakout room now. We come back at, we don't have a lot of time. So 10 minutes or less for you to discuss. All right. All right. So let's go. Let's talk. Everybody's there, right? Are you still there? I just tried to check if you're still there because everybody kind of said it. Okay. All right. So room one, talk to me. What are, for example, let me hear one of the claim. One of the claim. One of the claims, rather.
So for you. All right, so sir, based on what I get from the video.
What I or the what we?
What we got from the video, sir. Trump's claim they weren't concrete, right? Because he did not make any.
No. I didn't ask you that question. I never asked you if the claims were concrete or not. I asked you what. Give me one claim that was made. That's what I asked you. You failed the exam already. I want for you just to tell me. I never asked you whether it was sound or unsound. Just tell me one claim by the former president.
All right, so one claim I think Trump was saying about China produce fake goods.
So one claim is that China produces fake goods.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Was there any evidence?
No, sir. There were no, sir. There weren't any evidence.
There wasn't any evidence.
No, sir, because he did not make any reference to saying that
anything.
and so on or so on. He just speak. He was just speaking, but he never make any references, right?
Okay. All right. Room two. Any other claim?
Sir, but he was saying the manufacturing, there's a decline in the manufacturing sector. He did use evidence by providing statistics, using numbers to show the decline, where the decline took place.
All right. Yes. So we saw some amount of evidence. Room three. Do you have any claim different from what was said before?
Good night. Yes, sir. Another claim that he made was that there was unemployment, an increase in unemployment, and he did state the numbers.
Okay. All right. Room, that was what, 3 or 4? That was 3?
Yes, sir.
4, any? No, not from room 3. Room 4, anything different from what was said?
Sir, he claimed that China was an extortionist.
Did he use those words, or those are your words?
Words to that effect.
Then you need to say that, sir. In court, you would have been accused of embellishing. You would have been accused of embellishing.
Okay, sir. So words to that effect, sir.
Okay, and based on your reinterpretation or interpretation, was there any evidence to show that China was acting that way?
There was some evidence, sir, but he quoted some figures, but I'm not remembering it now.
Okay, all right. Room 5, did you hear any other thing?
Yes, sir. It's just a addition to Mr. Luke. He stated that there were some imbalances with the trade agreement with the United States and China. He quoted some figures as it relates to the debt for US to China and the debt from China to the US. Basically, it shows that there's some significant reduction on the part are on the side of China comparing to the US, and he vowed to have some changes to that arrangement.
So he spoke to trade deficit, the trade deficit between the United States and China. In other words, China is exporting more to the US than importing to the US. And of course, China is just doing what the US has always been doing over time. Do you think there is merit to the speaker's claim based on what was said?
Yes, sir.
Yes.
There's merit because he used figures, especially when it comes to the amount of persons that were laid off or made redundant, based on the fact that some of the companies that are US based that had moved to China in a bid to reduce labor costs. He had made mention of 60 factories that was closed, 3 million persons that were laid off. So yes, sir, there's merit to the story.
All right. So one of the things in oral communication or public speaking, remember I said that don't listen to the speaker, but listen to the message. Remember I said that? I think I said something to that effect.
You did.
Right. In other words, we should not get caught up in the notoriety of Trump, the demon that some of us or most of us hate. But we are supposed to listen critically and be able to say if it is weak or strong. That's what you do in the academy. You listen critically. So yes, I don't like Trump, but somebody might say, but did you listen to the speech? You can't say, oh, me not like him because me not like him when I listen to the speech, because that's not a firm ground to stand on. Say, yes, I did listen to the speech, and let me tell you why he's wrong. Or let me tell you some of the things that I agree with or some of the things that I disagree with. So in the academy, we are supposed to listen critically in order to make sense or to make meaning. Fair enough, everybody?
Yes, sir.
Yes. So,
yes, sir.
Yes. So it therefore means that whatever we are listening going forward, we should be listening very critically, because sometimes when we are hearing, which is different from listening, we are just hearing the superficial. We're not hearing the critical. All right. The homework, we created our YouTube channel. Did we create our YouTube channel and do the news report?
Oh, sir, it's the first I'm hearing about that.
For the persons who are in the last class, did you create your, I'm almost sure the homework was for you to do a news report, right? Just something very amateur, just to hear your speaking voice. Did we create that?
Yes, sir.
All right, so all we're going to do now is to right, so some persons might have, some persons may not have. It's not something that is created. What I want for you guys to do is to share the link in the WhatsApp group. So share your link in the WhatsApp group, and then I will go and listen. All right. All right, are there any burning issues, any burning questions or concerns or queries before we go?
Excuse me, sir, just a question. As it relates to the news report,
Yes.
there wasn't a time limit, as in like minimum or maximum.
Usually we don't go over 2 minutes for the purposes of this course.
But we can go under the 2 minutes.
Yes, but not under a minute.
Okay, thank you.
Yes. All right, so that was one question. There seems not to be any other question. All right,
yes,
guys.
sir.
Yes.
For the prerequisites, I'm seeing that you're not the approval.
What you're going to do, you're going to seek an override, because it's not your fault why you don't have your grade.
Oh, so but I did that. I write something in the box 3 times and I haven't got an approval as yet.
Can you screenshot it and send it to info@ECC, please, so I can attend to these matters?
Okay, sir.
All right. Any other question? All right, have a good night, everybody. I'll see you on Wednesday.
Okay, sir.
All right, bye, everybody. Night, night.
Night, sir.